Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. Before we dive in, I want to introduce you to the expert who will be guiding us through these powerful strategies, Brad Stevens. Brad is a purpose-driven entrepreneur and has built global businesses across 18 countries. He is the founder and CEO of Outsource Access, a multi-awarded offshoring business backed by close to 500 employees. Outsource Access has experience connecting 75 industries with virtual teams to help them scale and succeed. He also co-founded a software platform, One-on-One Connections, which is the only private label connections program for member organizations and conferences across 10 countries and 20,000 plus matches to date. Under his leadership, Outsource Access has received 8 national or global awards, including Pacesetters, Inc. Regionals, ranking in the top 7% of fastest growing companies in the US on the Inc. 5000. Ladies and gents, here's Brad Stevens.
Well, thanks again to our wonderful team for putting that gracious introduction together, and hopefully gives you a little context and background as we head into the content here together. So the topic today, and again, thank everybody for your time. I know it's busy in summer and we got all kinds of activities going on with everybody in your business and families, but I promise to make this high takeaway value for all of you that are considering this path in your business, whether you're a CPA firm, accounting firm, or whether you're a business looking to, introduce and need additional accounting and bookkeeping help. So the topic today and the title is, why you can trust an offshore team to handle your accounting and bookkeeping. So I'm proud to share this content with you, and thanks again to our team for helping kind of assemble and put this together to take you through the content. Because look, some of you may have gone down this path and have used offshore and maybe had some different types of experiences. So, that's why the key word here we're talking about is trust, and to kind of understand what this world is, how you can engage and implement it. It can be very similar to, hiring a bookkeeper down the street in your local, area. I just want to share this up front real quick here. If you stay until the end, I've got a bunch of tools and resources I'm going to be sharing with you, okay, today. If you just send an email, and look, you don't have to write a letter or a note or any message. If you just send an email to tools@outsourceaccess.com, just shoot an email. You can open up your Outlook on your phone and just put accounting 620, just so our team knows kind of where it came from. We get you the right resources. We're going to send you a full accounting and bookkeeping VA playbook. And this is going to include over 40, 50 tasks that we are doing every single day that an offshore virtual assistant, whether you work with us or work with any company, just to stimulate your ideas of things that you can leverage an outsourced resource for. And I'm also going to send you a list of all the top 200 tools. We know there's all kinds of cool tools. Some you may be familiar with, some you don't, like, ChatGPT, but lots of other cool little free or very low cost automation tools. And we've assembled a list of over 200 of those that we're going to send those to you in a PDF you can take a look at. And then also I'll cover it here briefly, and it's our simple 2-question exercise. And again, having been in this space and grown to 500 people in 4.5 years, working with thousands of businesses at this point, this 2-question little simple exercise is a great way to kick off the journey for outsourcing for you. So just shoot that email to tools@Outsource Access. It'll be in the chat as well, so you can see to shoot that over, and we'll get a bunch of resources sent your way, and just open up a dialogue as well. Happy to be here and answer questions for you. So just very briefly, won't spend a ton of time talking about my whole background. We just did that nice intro video, but long story short, I'm actually in our offices here in Atlanta, Georgia. So we have a U.S. location here in Atlanta, and then our whole Philippine operation obviously is in the southern part of the Philippines, kind of where we're headquartered, but we have people all over the country. This is my family. Just brief intro to myself. That's my wife, Cindy, of 10 years. Actually just celebrated our anniversary back in March, and our little ones, Ella, who's 8, Braden, who's 4. And so, my journey, grew up in Atlanta, Georgia here, grew up a bit in an entrepreneurial type of environment. Actually, my first business was renting toys to my friends in 3rd grade. I had a tutoring company in high school. And, after high school, I went to Harvard, actually. And then I finished up my college at Wharton Business School at University of Pennsylvania with concentrations in finance and marketing. So that was my path academically. And then after I graduated, I was going to go work actually for an investment banking firm, and they ended up going under right before I was supposed to start with them. And I just share this to kind of you understand how in the world did I end up being in Atlanta, Georgia, with 500 people on the other side of the world in a business. But the linkages to that is, The company I was going to work for when I graduated ended up going under. It was back in 2002. It was in the technology space and in the investment banking space. And I had that fork in the road that a lot of you probably have had, either to, go take some other job offers that I had. I mean, coming out of Wharton, I had some pretty good opportunities, or start my entrepreneurial path. And that's the path I ended up taking. My uncle ended up sharing a business plan idea. And so he and I became business partners, and we help low-income people qualify for free medications in the United States through patient assistance programs. And that led to a number of other companies that I built over the years. So I've been an entrepreneur the last 25 years. In my last company, right before launching Outsource Access, we manufactured and distributed teeth whitening products all over the world. Long story short, had a product disaster happen, cash got tight. I'd heard about this whole offshoring thing, but I needed to really understand it and bring it in my business if I was going to save my company. So it was really out of necessity, and started understanding all the different countries, what they were capable of, what they could do. And that's when I, really started learning about the Philippines and the competency and the ability there. And so it helped me save that company. And I got so passionate about it that I just started to launch a company in this space because I saw the massive impact it made for me and my business, getting incredibly talented offshore resources that were, more affordable, but incredibly talented at the same time, that made my dollar stretch and made us be able to do things we wouldn't be able to do otherwise to scale our company. So that's what kind of led me to launching Outsource Access in 2019. And in 5 years, like I said, grown to 500 plus employees. We serve 75 different industries in all functions, customer service, operations, marketing, sales. But accounting and bookkeeping is a major function that we do, which we'll be focusing on today. And I share my family because it's been a massive impact. I mean, I get to work virtually from home, and I have we have an office here in Atlanta as well. But it's been a huge impact for me in the scalability I've been able to have and the time I get to reinvest with my family and my children. And actually, this is our latest one, Australian Labradoodle, that came into our life as well. So that's my family and quick background. And this is Outsource Access, is actually one of our holiday parties. Not quite all 500 came, but I got close to 500 people in our room for our big Christmas party we have every year. And this is Jaisel. This is a young woman that was my very first VA in the Philippines that showed me what the capabilities were. She had never been a VA, before, had a, one job, kind of prior. And we started working together as my very first VA. I found her on a job board when I was in the United States. We started working together and just was blown away by her competency, her ability, her desire to grow and learn. And crazy, fast forward, she was able to become our COO over 500 employees, just a number of years, later. So just incredibly talented. And so it's in essence a lot of what the Filipino culture is about. It's about people that are fast learners, good communicators, can take feedback, and have the ability to grow and raise their lid. And, statistically, as far as why the Philippines, a lot of people kind of group all of Southeast Asia together, sometimes India and so forth. The unique thing about the Philippines, and this is an article actually, speaking to, is that, it was controlled by the United States, right, up until, around 1947. So it's American education system. English is their second language. They're graduating 800,000 or more four-year college degree individuals. So there's not the culture gap. So when you work side by side, and we'll share a couple of videos here in a second, there's not the culture gap that you have like you do in some other countries. If you ask any of our clients that we work with, they feel like their staff in the Philippines is just a part of their team, right? They know, we get to know their mission, their core values, kind of side by side. And to the proficiency of English, right? That's why it's the call center capital of the world, because the English is so strong in the Philippines. So when it comes to, accounting and bookkeeping, why should you outsource to the Philippines when it comes to that, right? Well, it's a technical skill, and the Philippine accountancy standards are based on international financial reporting standards, right? So you're going to get the exact same standards that you have in the U.S., or if you're, visiting us from any of the other, countries. 200,000 Filipino CPAs, right, are available, right? And they can fill the gaps with the ongoing, massive shortage. And any of you that are in this space, particularly if you have a CPA firm or accounting firm, there's a 30% decline, 33% decline in those taking the CP exam. From 2016 to 2021, there's a massive decline. And in 15 years, 75% of CPAs are going to be at retirement age, right? So the things are trending in this direction. And so taking your path and stepping into this direction gives you, support when we have a big decline in the supply. And it has one of the oldest formalized accountancy professions in Asia, right? It's developed strict requirements and practices, CPA, including mandatory annual continuous professional development courses covering all the technical skills and ethical practices. So, I could spend an hour just talking about the depth and training and competency, but these are just a couple of high-level statistics to show that there's substantial competency and ability there. And when it comes to cost, right, when you look at the average cost of what it is, right, for hiring even just a mid-level on-site accountant, compared to the US, UK, Australia, and so forth, I mean, the Philippines is less than half, right? So you're talking about 50, 60, 70% savings a lot of times to get a solid, accounting individual. And look, we had them working for our own firm in the Philippines. I mean, and just seeing how well they do and the incredible level of detail and how they operate. So obviously massive, cost savings and advantage, whether it's, adding them in addition and supplementing a lot of the accounting firms and agencies we work with, they hire staff from us to supplement and work side by side their staff to cross check or take on and work directly with clients. Or if you're just starting and you're looking to kind of get underway before you can hire anybody locally in the U.S. full time, it's a great initial, starting point. And we kind of start at the 2195 kind of range. So 2200, it can go up on that based on the type of accountant that you're looking for and the capability, but substantial savings. And so just proud to share, as a company, when you look at in terms of working in the Philippines and, we're proud, and you look at a lot of other firms as well, as we won 8 global or national awards for the growth, the competency, the impact we've had. And that Real Leaders Award it's not only for growth, but having a big impact on society as well. And we ranked in the top 7% of fastest growing companies on the Inc. 5000. So, proud of that, and big tribute to our team and our leadership for helping make that happen. And this is just a quick look at that playbook. So I said I'll send you kind of an example playbook. This is what it is, and we'll show you all the detail. This is one, for social media, but we have a ton of them in every single different category. So we'll send you the exact one for bookkeeping and accounting that has, like I said, over 40, 50 tasks that we're doing specifically, in this industry. And as I shared too, once you understand and embrace this whole world of outsourcing and offshoring, I mean, this is a whole other company that I was able to launch, in a couple of weeks for actually less than $3,000 by embracing and leveraging this world. And so that's kind of a recap on me and kind of background and, growing our businesses. I'm a part of YPO and EO as well. If any of you are in part of those organizations, happy to share and kind of compare notes, podcast, TEDx talking, and we do a lot of work on giving back as well. Very aligned to the sustainable development goals, because culture is a massive part of our business. In addition to, providing great caliber talent in what we do, it's all about, being committed to the environment as well and giving back in our communities. So we do major quarterly initiatives, whether it's planting trees to offset carbon emissions or helping, hungry individuals, or helping in education situations in elementary schools. We kind of do it across the board. So you'll see that's a huge part of our company from a culture standpoint. So when we talk about the impact that this can have in your business, and we're going to share some specific case studies on the accounting and bookkeeping side, is look, how does it actually work, right? And there's many direct and indirect ways that it can have an impact. And so when you look in your business, whether you're an accounting or bookkeeping agency or firm, or if you're a business in a different industry just needing accounting and bookkeeping help, right? It's kind of this feeling of like wearing a zillion hats. This is actually from a film shoot. I was just doing a big film shoot the other day, and I was like, had this funny idea of like wearing a bunch of hats, because that's how we feel, right? As business owners, or, our staff that are in these roles. It's just, there's so much to do and just not enough time, money, or resources to do it, right? And so it's addressing that issue and helping alleviate for yourself or for your staff, getting support to alleviate that, right? And so the impact is it's taking things that you or maybe your staff are currently doing that you want to get it off your plate so you can focus on the things that you want and should be doing, right? So it's kind of this like feeling of 1 + 1 = 4, when you bring an offshore resource into your organization, right? And the impact is improved financial performance. You're able to be more profitable, higher growth, happier employees, more meaningful work, higher retention, and attract better talent. We've had a lot of our clients that we work with in the US and otherwise that say, by bringing offshore staff into the business, it's actually improved culture of their existing local W-2 employees, because they're able to get the support and resources that they need, right? And they can focus on even higher level activities they're not able to kind of get to. So big impact. So, what are the types of things? And as you can imagine, this list goes on and on and on, but invoicing and bookkeeping, reconciliation of bank accounts, doing reports, and that means different things in all of your businesses. We've got very simple up to very sophisticated reporting we've done, payroll processing, preparing taxes and insurance, 1095 forms, 6056 worksheets, W-2 entries, auditing and tracking, underwriting, QuickBooks mastery, the whole AR/AP side. We have actually a good buddy of mine that I taught about this world, and he got a VA to partner just with his CFO to do nothing but chase down receivables, and inside of 6 months eliminated their need for a $500,000 line of credit in their business, just because they were getting dollars in the door faster by helping support with accounts receivable, right? So it just scratches the surface, and we'll send you a whole list of all the additional things that can be done. But you obviously, you're in the space, the types of things that we're capable of. Now it's kind of looking at, what are the case studies and examples related to it? And so I'm going to send you guys this template, and this is a great way to kind of explore this in your business. Is and we'll send this to kind of ask within your teams and on the accounting and bookkeeping side is, what are you currently doing that you feel is not the best use of your time as it relates to accounting and bookkeeping? And then how many hours per month are you spending on it, right? Second question is, what are the things on the radar that you want to be doing as it relates to accounting and bookkeeping that you want to be doing or you think you should be doing, but you can't due to time, money, or knowledge constraints? Just those two simple questions. It's amazing. I'll send you a template. It kind of looks like this. You can copy and paste, do it yourself, send it to some of your team members. And it is amazing. We've done this with hundreds and hundreds of companies over the years. This is a snapshot from one company that did it recently. They sent it into their team and they came back and just had this ton of things that they're doing, right? And it kind of creates a runway of opportunity of where can you leverage offshoring and outsourcing, in your business. Certainly in accounting and bookkeeping, but it may end up unpacking some things in other categories as well, right? And I tell you, it's a huge value doing that 2-question exercise in your business, even if you never outsource anything. I've heard this so many times, where a CEO and a manager does this exercise with their employees, say, hey, I want you just to answer these 2 questions, right? And they'll come back and, a CEO would say, Julie, you've been with us for 8 years and you have 27 items that you answered those 2 questions. Why haven't you told me this before? And the employee's like, well, you never really asked me, right? So it's amazing when you ask your employees, what are you doing you don't think is the best use of your time? What do you think we should be doing that we're not getting to? And it's incredible what kind of list that can create to begin the journey and where you can leverage offshoring and outsourcing. And, it comes down to what gets your attention and focus is what gets done. And so it's a matter is what you want to get done getting done, right? Or are you and your staff being distracted by things that aren't the highest and best use of your time, right? So that's kind of just laying the groundwork of kind of seeing when you do this exercise and you begin to integrate this into your business on accounting and bookkeeping, even beyond, you can take, hundreds of hours of work and reduce it down and get it translated and offshored that can help your staff elevate to their highest and best use of time, right? Kind of like I shared before, the impact in the organization. So that lays a little of the groundwork here to understand why is this critical. And I just want to share a couple of quick case studies. But before, I want to pop up here real quick. I want to show you a video. This is actually one of our staff, and that works for one of our works in accounting function for one of our clients. And just to listen to her directly share what her journey's been like, working for us, for the client and for OA.
Hi, I'm Anne. I work as an accounting virtual assistant under an accounting firm in the US. I have a bachelor's degree in management accounting and have earned my certification as a QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor. As an accounting VA, my task primarily includes posting business transactions, which means categorizing income and expenses in an accounting software. We are actually using QuickBooks Online Accountant. We also process weekly invoices timely to ensure that we get paid sooner and to maintain stability in the finances of the business. I also help in processing monthly bills. I also do reconcile accounts, maintains accuracy of financial data, and prepares financial statements to be reviewed by my clients who are accounting professionals. I'm actually very humbled that my clients trust me with this type of work. I have gone through rigorous processes to ensure confidentiality. Actually, our files are encrypted and is very limited to a trusted few. This is to make sure the quality of service that we give to our clients are top-notch. And I'm just really grateful that I have learned all this through my client. So I really enjoy being a VA for Outsource Access because of the flexibility. I actually get to work in my own terms and schedule while doing my passions and hobbies. Just recently, I joined the badminton tournament for our 5th year anniversary, and we actually won 3rd place. Yay! So ultimately, I feel like this is where I can grow and become the best version of myself. My name is Anne, and I am a VA for Outsource Access, where we redefine how you scale.
So hope you enjoyed that. Give you a little quick just insight. And we have tons of videos like that. If you go to outsourceaccess.com and you go click on our website, you'll see tons of videos of us kind of taking you behind the scenes in our organization. And lots of staff just like Ann that are super sharp, super bright, and are able to engage and support in your business. So I just want to share a couple of quick snapshots of some companies in different, industries. This one right here, Laura Beth, it's a client of ours, a company called Flexic Financial. They are a full comprehensive, outsourced, services firm as it relates to CPA and bookkeeping services. And, we asked some of our clients to just share their direct feedback, in working, with staff. And so this is what she said. She shares our VAs, which I call accounting assistants, do the posting of daily transactions, prepare summary questions for clients, prepare and research monthly reports. They review and prioritize email for the owner. They have allowed us to grow our business and provide excellent service to many small businesses. Our passion is to lend our expertise to businesses who don't need a full-time accounting staff or CFO. So, just a snapshot, right? They started with one and she kind of grew with us. Once she got confidence and saw the capability of our teams, and as part of what we do is we provide a dedicated, strategic advisor. So you not only get your direct staff that's working with you, but you also get an account manager who's there to make sure that we're supporting you and looking at your growth path ahead. But, if you are, in this space, providing accounting, bookkeeping services, there's a lot of fractional firms out there, but they're struggling to find local talent, even in the US or other countries that we service. And so, you can see here actually the pictures of the staff that she works with. You got Kay, Jubilee, Roseanne, who actually we just heard from. And so just a small snapshot of the massive impact that our staff have had, as you can see. And if you could talk to Laura Beth, she would go on and on. I know just seeing some of the feedback, I was copied on the email when we asked her to give feedback and she just gushed about all the things that we're doing. But, giving you a tight, summary there, the impact that it's had, on her business. Popped another case study. This is another firm. Sorry, skip the slide there. Called Support Services of Virginia. This is an amazing company up in Virginia. And what they do is provide support services to, mentally challenged, adults and others in the space. And they got about 160 employees that go out and deploy into homes, into foster care for, a lot of the adult community. A lot of people don't know or see every day that are struggling with mental handicap or challenges. And so huge amount of moving parts in this business. Chip Dodd is actually the CEO that we started working with initially. And then Andrea Anderson is the financial controller. And so they, started their journey. They actually got one. So Chip actually started with one staff with us initially. And then as she started getting confidence and was blown away by what, Kathleen and the Maribel were kind of able to do in the business, he had a second, a third, and a fourth across all the, dimensions. And so Andrea, specifically on the accounting and bookkeeping side, is one area that we support. She said, getting a VA has afforded us to have a whole other employee in our accounting department. There's been a whole lot of new accounting tasks that need to be done. And with the cost of a VA being significantly less than hiring a full-time staff, we were able to bring on another team member. And so I want to highlight that exact reference there, right? And I would say that, honestly, 95% of what we do, when people hear Outsource Access, they think it's about shipping jobs overseas and so forth. A lot of what we're able to help do is for someone like Andrea, you have companies that they just don't have the funds to afford another full-time person locally, right? So they just wouldn't hire. So what happens? People like Andrea have to wear, like you saw that picture before, another hat and another hat and another hat. Decreases her quality of life, her experience working for this company, and then she's working 50, 60, 70 hours because they can't afford. And that's what happens in a lot of our businesses across the board in all functions we support, is it's like, you know what? We can't afford another employee. So sorry, Jane, or sorry, John, or sorry, Bob, you're just going to have to wear more hats. And it puts more burden on them. And that's how you burn staff out. That's how they lose staff. And so it's funny, Chip actually shared with me, said, Brad, honestly, this has been amazing for our business, but it's created retention for my W-2 employees like Andrea, because it's changed their life working for Support SSVA. Because they can't go work for another company in our industry and get the same kind of dedicated support I'm willing to do with someone from the Philippines. So it's had a huge lift. I actually got to go speak up at a healthcare conference for them recently. I got to meet them personally and see firsthand. So it's an interesting byproduct. So, this is actually all of the team, the key executive team locally for Chip, for SSVA in Virginia. And this is now their entire integrated team from the Philippines that work side by side, hand in hand. And we've documented all their processes. We have hundreds of pages of process playbooks we've created for them, and have just changed the game for them and how they've grown and expanded their operation. As I shared, surprising byproduct is just the gratitude and culture. We were working with a client one time, and he sent me this picture one day. He said, Brad, our staff in the U.S. have become so connected with our staff in the Philippines that we actually took pictures of all of them and asked them to send pictures, and we have them on a wall in our office here in Atlanta. They're actually located here in Atlanta. So it builds this connection and integration where it's not just this third party, but they want to know your mission, your core values. We want to be integrated in supporting you and your business. Here's another one. And this is actually where that picture came from. He says, we've looked at the way we've gotten a company. We've got 45 employees, and we're in the process of hiring 9 VAs or outsourced folks. He's got the Southern accent, so you can relate. The impact on that was about $540,000 to their bottom line, right? That we replaced with about $37,000 overseas, compensation, right? So they were able to net a change of about $450,000 in their business, right? I mean, it jumped their net gain over 10% per year. So this is a business called iCare Financial in the financial services space. And a lot of the work that was doing was accounting, financial related work, but they were able to integrate full-time staff from the Philippines into their business, more agile, launch new divisions because they had that extra cash they could now invest in the growth in the business, right? And as he said, it was astonishing, right? They didn't even know that it existed or what was capable. Another company here. This is actually Michelle DeMonico. Their company's called Modern Executive. They are a very, very high-end executive search firm. And so, as she shared, the impact it's had on integration adaptability. She said, Robilin's quick adaptation to our team dynamics has enhanced our overall productivity and team cohesion, right? So it's about, again, back to that culture. There's not that culture gap when you're bringing people in, right? They're able to integrate directly, and she's able to immediately adapt and integrate into their team dynamics. And they're a fast-growing business. They have been exploding in their growth. Increased ownership. By expediting Robilin's involvement in accounts payable and assigning her more responsibilities, we're optimizing our resource utilization and improving overall operational efficiency. And then third, project management, right? Transitioning key tasks to her will allow the team to focus on critical end-of-year projects, ensuring timely and successful project execution, right? I can't say enough. That captures in one what my personal experience was when I began down this path, and our clients across the board is just the impact that it has in cost savings, speed, adaptability, and leveraging your existing staff that you have. And when you got 60, 70, 80, $90,000 employees, potentially, if you're a larger business, right? You want those individuals focusing on a lot of the strategic stuff that you brought them on for, right? And you can pull things off their plate that someone like a Robilin can work side by side and support them in their growth, right? Another one in the healthcare space. This is Maria McWhirter. I actually got to meet her when I got to go speak for a healthcare conference. Just a lovely, lovely woman, and the impact that they're doing. They have incredible technology in that same space that are helping, mentally challenged, adults. And Jessica is one of their staff that's come on, and I'll just, share what she presented to us. She said, Jessica was supposed to provide simple bookkeeping tasks to save me some time, but due to her experience and honestly her tenacity to prevent and solve problems, she identified a barrier to our ability to receive payments from our customers. Right? Huge barrier that she was able to remove. Without her stewardship, I wouldn't have known until it was far too late to prevent major problems. In addition, because she performs optimally during my evening hours, each morning I get a list of typical tasks that were completed while I was sleeping. And heads up about issues that need special attention. This gives me flexibility to address special issues myself during the day. And if I need to talk to her, I can reach her in my evening hours after my daily fire drills are over, and I can focus on it. It's just unbelievable. This is, again, the insight of what the impact it has. A lot of people, they don't know what they don't know, just like myself, as they think what outsourcing and offshoring is and what they're capable of. But once you begin the journey and you build a relationship, and I've heard this story zillions of times, like Maria did with Jessica, it's unbelievable the impact. She was blown away by her capability, her competency, and then it unfolded from there, right? And now she has 2 staff with us and looking to grow, and expand. So another kind of case study of a snapshot and example. And one I'll just share briefly here is, this is a woman that was sitting in the audience when I was speaking on this a number of years ago, and I actually feature her in my TEDx talk. If you do a TEDx, Brad Stevens, Personal Global Economies, you'll see it. It's about a 12-minute TEDx talk that I do, and I feature Jonna in this. But she was seated in the audience and heard me speak about this, and little did I know, she was sitting in a place of near bankruptcy, had maxed out her credit cards, trying to launch and grow her business. And she took what I taught her. She learned how to embrace and work with offshore staff. And she came to me later and said, Brad, you know what? Because of sitting and listening to you and embracing this, I was able to go from bankruptcy to over $500,000 in revenue in 18 months. And in fact, she created 15 jobs in the United States because of being able to save her business with her offshore staff, right? And they specifically help the senior citizens try and find senior care homes, right? So it's the interesting dynamic here. It's not about, necessarily replacing people. It's about bringing people in, and you can actually create jobs in the United States when you can grow your business and hire the people that you need to serve local functions, right? In this email, and again, to give a lot of you insight and the whole purpose of, the title, why can you trust, right? This is an exact email, haven't been doctored at all, that came from an individual that's in the home inspection business, right? So he's the owner of a home inspection business. He was trying to convince his staff to bring in offshore talent, could make a big difference, right? They were hesitant to it. And this is an email that the owner was sent by one of his staff, right, Melanie, about the experience of working with offshoring. And he said, "Today, I told Steph, our VA, that hiring her was the best decision I made all year. Thanks for helping me see it, take a chance on it. She's blown me away with her ability to figure out stuff in HubSpot, right? And she's doing stuff in HubSpot related to marketing and finance and bookkeeping and processing. We sure traded up even with the limitations of virtual. The other part I didn't expect is that for me, the possibilities of what I can see we can do in marketing are so much bigger when I know I have someone who will help me. So this is at least part of what you meant when you say be the executive and replace yourself." And again, this has not been a touched email. It came to me April 21st, 2023 from Jeff. He said, "Brad, I just want you to see this email from my own staff telling me exactly the evolution that this has when U.S. businesses and staff embrace this, bring it into their world, and the impact that it can make," right? And there's just innovative things you don't even think that you can do, right? Accounting and bookkeeping is the focus of this, but just to share another quick example, one of the things when we launched Outsource Access, I wanted to have a physical location in the United States. And so I did a quick little screencast recording, sent it over to JCell, who was my first, VA at the time. And I said, "Hey, could you find somebody that could do a 3D rendering of a potential walk-in location of our physical space?" And a couple days later, for $38, got a full 3D rendering of our entire space. If you go to our website and click on a walk-in location, you can actually see the full 3D rendering that they did for us, right? So there's all kinds of other things. When you begin this journey and tip your toe in the water, and if accounting and bookkeeping is your entry point, there's all kinds of other things that it opens up that you can find yourself with a whole team of people that can, again, redefine how you scale. So the last thing I'll share as we close out here is, at the end of the day, it's a win-win-win. This picture is from when JCell and I started working together in the very, very beginning, a couple of months into it. She was just working as my personal VA and helping when I was doing speaking and consulting and helping educate people about this space. She sent me a picture, these children and these shoes in a circle. And she said, "Brad, I just want you to know, because of the money that I'm making, working with you and the flexibility, I was actually able to buy brand new shoes for these children who have to walk, an hour plus to school, each day." And for me, it just lit up and said, this is a win-win. Here I am in the US. I can't afford someone full-time in the situation where I was at the moment. I was able to get someone that I could afford who could help me with my business so I could hire people. And then there she is paying it forward in her local community in a third world country, investing and supporting others. And I said, "JCell, I don't know where we're going to take this business, but we're going to create some major give back initiative as a part of our core culture, going forward because of this." And so, as I shared in the beginning, that's what spawned our whole virtual assistants give back, initiative that we do now. So every quarter we do major initiatives aligned to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, whether it's planting trees, whether it's buying shoes, for low income individuals in villages, or helping with, sanitary kits for, earthquake victims. So if you look on our website and you go dig around, you'll see we even have our own magazine we published as well. It's all about giving these people opportunities and career paths and access that they would have never had before, while at the same time being a win-win for you as a business owner, getting a more affordable resource that's going to help you with dollars to drop more to the bottom line so that you can help your staff focus on their highest and best use, improve your culture. So it's a win-win across the board. So I know we ran a few minutes over here. I had a few extra things I want to kind of share with all of you. Hope you were able to hang with us, till the end. And I want to offer and invite any of you. I mean, hopefully this has given you education that, like, whatever path, whether it's with Outsource Access or there's a lot of other great companies that are kind of out there, to just take the leap and go down this path with accounting and bookkeeping. If that's your first entry point. Again, whether you're a CPA firm and an agency, like Flexic Financial, or if you're a firm that, like Maria, with Empower, that's just needing accounting and bookkeeping support in your business, to kind of take that step. Again, whether it's with us or otherwise. But if you'd like to do the journey with us, we love to take the path. We'll post in chat here, and here's a link you can click on. And if you use a code D, capital D 200. So in our model, we basically charge $495 to do an initial discovery assessment process with you, but it's completely refundable, right? We want you to be able to go down the journey, completely risk-free. So if you go to outsourceaccess.com or you click the link in the chat, it'll take you to a page. If you want to begin the journey, you put in the little discount code, you put in D200, it'll take $200 off of that. So it takes it down to $295. But again, it's fully refundable. If we go down the journey and if we can't find candidates for you for some reason, or you need to pause for whatever reasons, no questions asked, right? We will completely refund that back to you, right? To be honest, and you can probably appreciate in your business, it's what kind of helps create a filter for people that are committed to the process that want to go down this journey, right? But we make it risk-free so that you don't, you can fully refund it, for some reason we don't find the right fit or what have you, in the journey. So you can click the link in the chat there, or go to outsourceaccess.com. And if you go click on the yellow button to get started, you can click on that and it'll take you directly to our checkout page for that $4.95. And you can put that discount code in. We'll email it to those of you as well, so you'll have that. But that's the way you can kind of kick off and get started if you want to begin the journey with us. So I want to thank all of you for showing up here. Hopefully this gave you some insight into this world. What is it? How does it work? A little bit of Outsource Access from a culture and how we approach it. The types of things they can do in your business, give you confidence and the credibility, the talent, the culture, the connection. In accounting and bookkeeping, certainly. But if there's other functions you need in your business, whether it's sales, marketing, customer service, or if there's just certain operational functions specific to your business, we'd be happy to be able to, take those on for you as well. So if you click that, begins the journey. You can start the path. And if you need to want to have a call with one of our team members, we'll post in the link as well. And you can just book a free discovery call. Call with our team members, dig into your business, figure out what your needs are, see if it can be a fit. And then you can take the next step to begin with the with what we call our virtual assistant blueprint process to kick off the journey. So I'll pause. I know we ran over a little bit here. I see Donald Butler posted a quick question. So I'll answer some questions. Those of you want to hang on here for a second. And look, you'll get an email from us. Happy to be here. And again, you can book a call to talk with one of our team members and do a deep dive just on your business. But Donald asked a question, says, do you have a virtual assistant recommendation, non-bookkeeping, to answer phones, emails? And yeah, Donald, as I shared, and maybe you saw kind of in the presentation, we've got a whole range of functions. We service 75 different industries, and we literally do everything under the sun for every business, depending on what their needs are. So some businesses, we're doing pure customer service and support. Some of them we're doing marketing and sales. Some of them we're doing bookkeeping. Sometimes the same staff is wearing multiple hats. So, we got one client, Shotwell Productions, they're a video marketing firm. And so their staff, Kay, actually wears a couple different hats. She actually does bookkeeping. She does logistics and coordination for their shoots, for wedding shoots that they do. And she also posts on social media. So what we do in that discovery process is figure out what your needs are. And then we look for that talent and see if we can find someone that maybe can do several things. Or if it's really unique to your industry, we're going through, I think we had a meeting with our senior team. I think we've got 7,000 applicants that have applied to come work for us at Outsource Access because of who we are, the culture that we have, the magazine that we publish in the Philippines as well. So we've got lots of applicants to go through to try and match up for what your specific needs are. But yeah, Donald, we've got absolutely people that can answer phones, emails, do customer support. And again, if you go to outsourceaccess.com and you click on the drop down there by function or by industry, you can see a whole range of things that we can do in each category. All right, let me see if there's any other questions that came up here. Yeah, I think we got. Okay, I think we got most of the questions answered. Oh, I see one pop up on time zones. And yeah, and that's something we can talk about and we address in discovery. Time zones, obviously the Philippines is 12 hours off from the US, but a lot of the work, as you saw with Maria, right, the work they can do can kind of be done at any time. So you go to bed and kind of wake up and it's all done. But if you need to connect with them, right, like myself, if I need to live chat with my personal VA that I work with, my morning typically is their evening. And so we can have a live chat if we need to communicate. But if you need someone to work your actual local hours, right, exactly your hours, 8 to 5, US time, whether it would depend on what time zone you're in, they're absolutely talent that can work your local time zone as well. We just kind of get that clarity during the discovery process. When we're looking for talent, we find individuals that are comfortable with that time zone. And there's plenty of staff that, are able to do that. So no issue at all. Well, I want to respect everyone's time. I know we ran over a little bit here, and I think going forward, we'll probably make this be a 45-minute webinar because there's some extra things to share and leave additional time for Q&A. But again, hopefully this was helpful for you to give you some insight and perspective. Would love to get your feedback if you send us an email or feedback on how it went, if there's anything else we could have covered or touched on. But in the meantime, invite you to go to outsourceaccess.com, look all over, our website, tons of videos and content taking you behind the scenes, and you click a link on there to book a call. We'll do a deeper dive in your business and see how we could be a fit. So with that said, we'll sign off here, and thanks everybody for those that attended today, and look forward to hearing back from you and see if we can be a support either near term or long term in supporting your business to help you redefine how you scale. Take care, everybody.